Good day. Welcome to this grow along video of the vegetables that we plan to sow and grow in the month of February. I've decided to upload these to YouTube a few days before the beginning of each month, so that if you have an opportunity to get to shops or garden centres because they may be open, or you are able to get online and buy seeds, you'll be able to go and buy seeds before we actually start sowing them later in the month. So I hope that's going to be helpful. Also, when you see on the back of a seed packet that something may have a sowing period of, let's say, March to May, in the south of England, if you're in the UK, in the south of England, you will most probably be okay sowing that at the beginning of March. But if you're further up and going into Northern Ireland and Wales and Scotland and even further into the islands, then maybe leave it a few more weeks, 3 or 4 more weeks. So I'm doing what we are going to be sowing this month, and everything we sowed last month in the video of January, I can also sow this month, so you can also sow it too. Where we're starting this month, I've got my list here so that I don't forget. We're starting with beetroots and turnips. We've got various different seeds here. We're going to be growing beetroot Avalanche, which is a white beetroot, as the name suggests, that we have not grown before. Burpee's Golden, which is a fabulous, I can see Fenella creeping along there. That's our fox if you haven't watched it before. Burpee's Golden, which is a lovely yellow beetroot, and we adore that. Chioggia, it's become quite a well-grown beetroot over the past few years, I think. It's the one that has concentric circles of red and white and looks great in salads. When you grate it, obviously you lose the colour. It sort of goes more pinky, but it's absolutely lovely. And then lastly, Turnips Goldana, which is a yellowish turnip. A little interruption there as I saw Fenella and a cat coming together, but you know what? They just passed each other. Nature can be amazing sometimes. In fact, is amazing most of the time. The reason that I've shown you the beetroot and the turnips together is because I'm going to be sowing those into module trays. If you've seen our January sowing of peas and sweet peas and mange tout, you'll know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, hold on till later in the month and I'll show you how we're going to be sowing these. These are going to be successional sown. So I'm going to be sowing all 4 of these. So 3 varieties of beetroot and 1 variety of turnip. And I will be doing another sowing in maybe 6 weeks' time of the same things. So I don't want to sow all the packet seed in one go, because that will give me a glut. So I'm sowing successionally. So this is the first sowing of those 4 seeds for this year, or 4 varieties for this year. And we will be sowing more in 6 weeks' time. If we then come on to Brussels sprouts, I know a number of people have issues growing Brussels sprouts. We've been lucky. We've been very lucky, and the variety that we are growing again is Groninger, good old Groninger, and they're going to be sown alongside a few other things, but we'll come on to that when we do the sowing. Leaves. In our case, I'm talking about chard, leaf beet, and also perpetual spinach, and we're growing herbet perpetual spinach and 5 colours leaf beet. We also have another pack of chard leaf beet, which are called bright lights. So we'll most probably be doing a comparison between the bright lights and the 5 colours, because they're basically the same thing. Moving on, again, I'm showing you things in clusters because that's how we're going to be sowing them. Some lettuce. I've got a good variety of lettuce to look at for this month. I've just written down here we could have Marvel of Four Seasons, Fine Speckled Oak, Lobjoits Green, Rouge d'Hiver, Amish Deer Tongue, and Burpee's Iceberg. I brought down a couple today just to show you. These are from the Heritage Seed Library, and we're going to be doing Burpee's Iceberg and Amish Deer Tongue. If you followed us for a while, you know we love the Amish paste tomato. So when I saw Amish Deer Tongue, I could not order it. These are again going to be sown into a seed tray this time. And I'm going to split the seed tray into 3 and also grow Parsley Paravere. This is a curled leaf parsley, which is very different to the Giant of Italy parsley that we sowed back in January. But they all have their uses, absolutely. Then one of the vegetables that I really want to get right this year is peppers. And we have quite a variety of sweet peppers. We have some orange bell that we received from Vivi. We also received some of her fabulous paprika peppers, which just looked fantastic on the plant. And off the plant, they looked like little wax peppers. They were absolutely great. And I saved seeds from a yellow long pepper that we got from Morrison's last year. Now, the thing with saving seeds is you really want to save seeds from as ripe a fruit or as advanced a growing period in terms of carrots and parsnips as possible. Now, these peppers that I save seeds from, lots of parakeets now, the peppers that I save seeds from are very likely going to have been cut before they had fully matured. And obviously, the maturer they can get on the plant, the more they're being fed by the plant. Once they get cut off the plant, that food source to the seeds is greatly, significantly reduced. So your seeds might not be as viable as they would be if that pepper, in this case, had been left to grow on the plant for its full life. But anyway, we're giving it a go. And then we've also received some Jamaican peppers from Brian. Thanks very much, Brian. And they are quite small peppers and have quite funky colours. So I'm looking forward to those. Another seed that Brian sent us last year was Tiny Tim tomato seeds. This is a small plant. We did sow some seeds about 6 weeks ago, but they haven't germinated yet. The ones we sowed 6 weeks ago, I was hoping we'd be able to grow them to fruition in the house and then maybe have very early tomatoes outside, because the main crop of our tomatoes won't be sown for a while yet. We're not sowing those in February. But these Tiny Tim ones, which are going to be grown in our house and then put outside or potentially brought into the polytunnel when they're plants, I'm sowing a few of those in February. Fingers crossed for those. Spring onions. I have some leftover Performer spring onions, and they are going to be going into a seed tray. And again, it's one of those things that is going to be successionally sown as we go through the sowing season, so that we have fresh spring onions, which I find difficult to say, as we go through the whole year. One other thing that I've just remembered we're going to be doing a little trial with is some Luce d'Automne broad beans. But it's a bit of a fun trial because it's not scientific, it's just a bit of fun. But we'll come on to that later in February. So that's really it. As I said last month, we use multi-purpose compost for our seed sowings. We don't use any specialist seed sowing compost. So don't worry that you need to get specialist compost, because we never do. Obviously, if you are quite advanced and you make your own compost, that's absolutely fantastic. The other thing that I want to say, which leads us back to the beginning really, is do not sow too early. I know I said that in January, but I'm going to say it again now. do not sow too early, because even though you might be able to get ahead with your plants, if you can't plant those plants out at the optimal time for that plant to be planted out, it may not do well, or it may actually die. You know, there's no point having a plant ready to go out into the ground 4 weeks before your last frost date if that frost, when it comes, is going to kill it. So even though we all want to get going with seed sowing, do be aware of where you are in the country, if you're in the UK, or where you are within the landmass that you live. And yeah, you might have a heated propagator, you might have lights, but actually just think about when those plants need to be planted out, because if you don't have the further protection of a polytunnel or potentially a heated greenhouse, or a greenhouse that you can heat, those plants may not be able to go out when they're ready to go out. Right, what have we got growing in the allotment at the moment? We've still got quite a few brassicas. I'm going to be taking fennel out quite soon because I need to get that bed ready. We've got Giant of Italy parsley, which has wilted, and sort of the best leaves have all gone because of the wet weather we've had and the snow, but there's fresh growth coming through. Now, it's very likely that once the season starts to warm up, as we get sort of into March and into April, that those parsley will go to seed, but at least we'll get some harvest from them in the meantime. Our broad beans are doing well. Our garlic and our onions, the garlic is doing well. The onions are looking a bit behind where I would want. Really good seeds, really good sets that we had went in, but for some reason they're just not looking as good as they normally look. I'm looking out there at the moment. I do need to weed that bed though. I'm going to be sorting out a final harvest of beetroots. We've got some Turnips Goldana, and we've got some Beetroot beetroot. That's going to be a final harvest of that, and then I'll be able to get that bed prepped for the spring. And I think that's, we've still got celeriac, we've still got chard, and we've still got perpetual spinach. Again, because we've had snow, they're all looking a bit sort of the worse for wear at the moment, but they'll be fine. They'll be fine. And then in the polytunnel, we have the seeds that we sowed in January, but nothing has come up there yet. Give it a few more weeks, and hopefully by mid-February, we'll be showing you what's coming up there. Anyway, there we are. That's the seeds that we are sowing and what we are growing in February. If you do have any questions, please do let me know. If you're not sure about your sowing dates for anything, then please do drop a comment below, and maybe between us we can work out the best time for you to sow something and then grow it on. But we'll leave it there. I will see you again very soon for another video. In fact, we'll be doing the February tour in only a few days. Hope to see you then. Do watch our Grow Along series if you like, and please do comment. As I said, comments we love. See you very soon. Bye.